What would you do if your life depended on your next breath? If every heartbeat reminded you that tomorrow you could be dead or immortal? Imagine this: Rome, 85 AD. The Colosseum trembles with the roar of 50,000 souls thirsty for blood. In the arena, under the merciless sun, a figure emerges from the shadows. Not a man, not a common slave, a woman. Her name, Aquilia. As lions roar in their cages and the sand drinks the blood of the fallen, she walks to the center of the amphitheater. Her armor gleams under the Roman sun, but it's not the metal that blinds the crowd. It's her gaze. A gaze that has seen her brothers die, felt the master's whip, sworn vengeance with every fiber of her being. The people scream, "Kill her! Feed her to the lions!" But the emperor leans forward on his marble throne. His eyes lock onto hers. For the first time in Rome's history, an emperor commands, "Let her fight. Let her show the world what a woman can do." This is not the tale of a slave. This is the story of the woman who defied an empire with a sword in her hand and the fire of freedom in her soul. The story of Aquilia, the gladiator who made Rome tremble. No one knows for certain where Aquilia came from. Some say she was a Germanic princess captured on the empire's frontiers. Others claim she was born in a Roman villa, daughter of a slave and a senator who never acknowledged her. But everyone agrees on one thing: her destiny changed the night the Lanista's whip, the owner of gladiators, marked her back forever. She was barely a girl when they dragged her to the Ludus, the most feared gladiator school in Rome. There, among men who had killed for a piece of bread, Aquilia discovered something astonishing. Her body was not a prison, it was a weapon. While others broke under humiliation, she watched. She studied. She learned. Her trainer, an old gladiator named Decimus, saw something in her no one else did. It wasn't just her physical strength, it was her mind. Aquilia understood that in the arena, the real battle wasn't fought with swords, but with fear. Fear kills you before your enemy's sword does, Decimus would tell her. Master it, and you master the arena. Day after day, under the burning sun, Aquilia trained. Not like the men, better. While they carried heavy armor, she learned to move like water. While they relied on brute strength, she studied every movement, every weakness, every opportunity. Her favorite weapon, the spada, a long, elegant sword that seemed an extension of her own arm. But Aquilia's true secret wasn't in her muscles. It was in her heart. Every blow she received, every night in the cold cell, every time she heard other slaves screaming, fueled her determination. I will live. I will fight. And one day I will be free. The day came. Emperor Domitian, hungry for spectacle, ordered a special combat to celebrate his victories in Germania. I want fresh blood, he declared. I want something Rome has never seen. The Lanista, desperate to please the emperor, remembered the Germanic girl training in secret. It's madness, his overseers warned. A woman in the arena. The crowd will tear her apart. But the Lanista saw an opportunity. If she wins, we'll be rich. If she dies, well, she was just a slave. Aquilia was prepared in silence. They gave her light leather armor, a small but fast shield, and her beloved spada. As she waited in the dark tunnels beneath the Colosseum, she could hear the crowds roar. She could smell the dried blood from previous fights. She could feel the fear in the air. But it wasn't her fear. When the gates opened, the sun blinded her eyes. But she didn't stop. She walked to the center of the arena with her head held high. The crowd fell silent. They had never seen a female gladiator. Boos began. This is a joke. Bring a real man. But then the emperor stood up. With a gesture, he commanded silence. Woman, Domitian shouted. What is your name? Aquilia raised her sword to the sky. "I am called Aquilia." Her voice, clear and strong, echoed through the Colosseum. "And today I don't fight for Rome. I fight for my freedom." The Colosseum exploded in a deafening roar. Some shouted in fury, others in awe. But everyone understood, this wasn't just another slave. This was a warrior. Her opponent was a Thracian giant named Brutus, a man who had killed 17 gladiators. He stood 2 meters tall, carried a heavy mace, and wore armor that gleamed under the sun. When he saw Aquilia, he laughed. "They send me a girl to play with?" The fight began with a trumpet blast. Brutus charged like an enraged bull, but Aquilia didn't retreat. She dodged the first blow with the grace of a cat, using her speed to circle the giant. Brutus swung at air, growing angrier. The arena filled with dust clouds as Aquilia danced around her opponent. In the 3rd minute, Brutus lost his balance. Aquilia saw her chance. She didn't attack his body. She attacked his legs, weakening his base. Brutus fell to his knees, shocked. The crowd held its breath. Aquilia stood before him, her sword pointing at his throat. Brutus closed his eyes, waiting for death. But Aquilia lowered her sword. "Get up," she ordered. "I am not an assassin. I am a gladiator." The Colosseum erupted in an earth-shattering roar. For the first time in history, a woman had not only survived, she had conquered Rome. After that battle, nothing was the same. Aquilia wasn't just a gladiator, she became a symbol. Roman women began whispering her name in public baths and gardens. Slaves saw her as hope. Even some senators secretly admired her. Emperor Domitian, impressed by her courage, granted her an unprecedented privilege. "You will fight only the best, and if you survive 10 combats, you will be free." Aquilia accepted the challenge. Her next battles became legend. The fight against the Secutors, 3 gladiators armed with heavy shields and full helmets. Aquilia used her speed to divide them, attacking the weakest first. "In the arena, unity is strength," she said, "but division is death." The Night of the Beasts, when the emperor, bored of human blood, ordered lions to be thrown at her. Aquilia didn't flee. She used torches and quick movements to confuse the animals, proving that the brain can defeat instinct. The Battle of Mirrors. Her most dangerous opponent was a woman like her, a gladiator named Valeria, trained specifically to kill her. It was a fight of traitorous sisters, where Aquilia learned the hardest lesson. In the arena, there are no friends, only survivors. Each victory brought her closer to freedom, but with each fight, her fame grew. Poets wrote verses about her. Artists painted her image on walls. Children played pretending to be her. And in Rome's streets, women began to wonder, if a slave can defy Rome, why can't we defy our social chains? Aquilia became more than a gladiator. She became the face of female empowerment in a world that believed women were weak. While other gladiators fought for money or fame, she fought for something greater, for every woman who has been silenced, for every girl who has been sold, for every mother who has mourned her children's deaths. She fought for all of them. The 10th combat came on a night of full moon. The Colosseum was packed to the last seat. Emperor Domitian had invited ambassadors from all provinces of the empire to witness what would surely be the most important fight in history. Aquilia, now 28 years old, carried the scars of 9 battles on her body. Her face showed the wisdom of one who had seen too much death, but her eyes still burned with the fire of freedom she was about to gain. But the emperor had a cruel gift for her. Her opponent wouldn't be a common gladiator. He would be Crixus, the champion of the Gauls, a man who had killed 23 gladiators and who hated women with all his soul. "If I defeat this woman," Crixus had said before the fight, "I will prove that Rome will never be ruled by a skirt." When Crixus entered the arena, the crowd went wild. He stood 2.5 meters tall, wore full armor covered in dried blood, and wielded a sword so large that 2 normal men would struggle to lift it. His face was marked with battle scars, and his eyes burned with pure hatred. Aquilia, by contrast, wore light leather and bronze armor. She wore no helmet. She wanted everyone to see her face when she won. Her spada sword looked like a toy compared to Crixus's weapon. The fight began with a roar from Crixus. He charged like a bull, but Aquilia didn't retreat. She ran straight toward him. She used her speed to dodge his first devastating blow and attacked his legs, weakening his base. Crixus stumbled, surprised by his opponent's audacity. The battle lasted over an hour. Crixus wounded Aquilia in the arm, the leg, the side. Blood stained the sand. But each time she fell, Aquilia rose again. Each time she seemed defeated, she found new strength. At the crucial moment, when Crixus was about to deliver the final blow, Aquilia remembered Decimus's words, "Fear kills you before your enemy's sword does." She looked into Crixus's eyes and saw something no one else had seen. Fear. Fear of losing to a woman. Fear that his legend would vanish. With a scream that echoed through the Colosseum, Aquilia leaped over Crixus, using his own momentum against him. Her sword found the weak point in the giant's armor, just under his arm. Crixus fell to his knees, defeated. The crowd erupted in a roar that shook the stones of the Colosseum. Emperor Domitian slowly rose. With a gesture, he commanded silence. "Aquilia," he declared, "you have fulfilled your promise. 10 victories. Today you are free." The slave chains fell from her wrists. For the first time in 15 years, Aquilia was free. Aquilia's story doesn't end with her freedom. After that day, she disappeared from official records. Some say she became a trainer of female gladiators in distant provinces. Others claim she founded a school for women in Greece, teaching them not just to fight, but to think, to read, to lead. But her true legacy isn't in history books. It's in every woman today who dares to break the chains society imposes on her. Aquilia proved that beauty and power are not opposites, they are allies. That a woman can be strong without ceasing to be feminine. That true courage isn't the absence of fear, but acting despite it. In the ruins of the Colosseum, where tourists walk silently today, if you listen carefully, you can hear the echo of her footsteps. You can feel the spirit of the woman who defied an empire. You can see, in the sand stained with blood and sweat, the footprint of a legend that will never be forgotten. So the next time you feel the world telling you that you can't, that you're not strong enough, brave enough, remember Aquilia. Remember that a woman, 2,000 years ago, walked alone into the most dangerous arena in the world and emerged victorious. Remember that power doesn't come from your gender, your origin, or your status. It comes from your heart, your mind, your unbreakable will. In a world that still tries to silence women, Aquilia teaches us that our voices are our swords, our minds are our shields, and our will. Our will is the fire that can melt the heaviest chains. I am Aquilia. I fought, I conquered, and I am free. And you, what are you willing to fight to be free? Power and beauty. Subscribe for more stories of women who changed history.